What is going on, YouTube? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys have a great day. We've got 9 NBA games and we've got 40 some college basketball games. So we're going to go through the NBA games like we always do, give you my leans, and then we're going to talk about college as well. In terms of recap from yesterday, NBA, Donovan Mitchell didn't play. So we had a little mini 2-0 sweep there. So we had Jalen Duren over 11.5 rebounds. He crushed that line. And we had Cade Cunningham over 8.5 assists. He didn't get it until the fourth, but pretty sweat free. So we'll take a 2-0 day in the NBA. In college, we went 3-2. A couple of late second half. It's so annoying. Some blown leads in the late second half, but it is what it is. It was a winning day. We will take it. Let's get into this NBA slate. All right, first game, Thunder and the Celtics. We do have some injury concerns here. So Porzingis and Tatum are both listed as game time decisions. I fully expect Tatum to play. I do have a play with Porzingis. So I don't know if he'll play, but it's too good of a line to pass up. Over 5.5 rebounds, too good to pass up. So did end up taking that. But we'll see if he plays. Thunder plus 3.5. A little hard for me to pass up, man. Thunder are just too good. They are too good right now. Give me the Thunder plus 3.5, especially with the thought of not potentially having Porzingis or Tatum. Next game, Hornets and the Hawks. Not much to play for the Hornets, right? The Hawks are obviously kind of in that. I think they're seven seed, something like that right now. So kind of on the outside looking in, kind of that first team in the playoff, little 4-man playoff. Hornets plus 8.5 on the road. It's just, I don't know how much they'll care, but I do like Hornets plus 8.5 in this spot. But we do have to start to be careful with those. I think there's only been one team that is eliminated, and that is the Utah Jazz. So they're in full tank mode now. 76ers and the Raptors. Raptors are going to be without Emmanuel Quickly. They're going to be without RJ Barrett. No Grady Dick. So essentially your only two starters are going to be Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes. I don't trust the Raptors, even though they're at home. Minus 3.5. Pretty depleted lineup. Give me 76ers plus 3.5. I like the under 219.5. Clippers and the Heat. We see Clippers plus 3.5 going up against the Heat. I don't know if it's because it's a back-to-back, right? It's in Miami. Give me the Clippers plus 3.5. Unlikely Kawhi plays since it's a back-to-back. I'm fine with that. Mavericks and the Spurs rematch from 2 days ago. Mavericks ended up winning this one. Do I trust the Spurs minus 5.5? No, especially with PJ Washington most likely back this game. I wouldn't, if I had to lean, I'd pick Spurs minus 5.5, but I don't love the spot. Next game, Jazz and the Grizzlies. Give me the Grizzlies minus 12.5. Like I said, the Jazz are officially out of this thing. Not much to play for. They haven't released the props yet for that team, so that tells me that there's definitely going to be some people out for the Jazz. If we look at the injury report right now, Markkanen's a game-time decision. Clarkson's a game-time decision. So those are probably your two big ones. Would not be a bad spot if you get your normal starting rotation to look at maybe a Collier over assist or a Collins over rebound. Some good spots there. Just with Memphis, until I see, there's good angles to take with Memphis, but until I see who's starting for the Jazz, I don't really want to go too heavy. Desmond Bane over 21.5 points looks pretty good. Ja over 7.5 assists. Typically when you play the Jazz, you look at assists, so it's always a good spot. Edey to potentially get some rebounds if Kessler's out. If Kessler's in, I'd probably fade him, but there's some guys out, right? Adama's going to be out. Edey's a game-time decision. Clark's a game-time decision. J.J. Jackson's out. So there's just a lot going on in this game that I don't necessarily want to touch right now. So that's why I'm kind of fading that. All right, Suns and the Rockets. Is this the game of the night? I don't know. Knicks and Trailblazers might be pretty good. It's going to be good from a defensive perspective. But Suns here getting 4.5 on the road against the Rockets. Rockets, Van Vliet should be in. Obviously, Ahmed Thompson's out for another week or so. Suns, their normal starting rotation. This line feels a little sneaky. I kind of want to go Suns here. Suns plus 4.5. Next game, Knicks and the Trailblazers. Trailblazers at home. I mean, solid D. Denny's back today. I wish I could have got his assist at a reasonable number. 3.5 is just ridiculously inflated right now, so can't really touch that. Definitely could see him getting 4 assists at plus money, though. Or I'm sorry, 5 assists at plus money. That is an option. For the Knicks, minus 3.5 here. I think it's a good bounce back spot for the Knicks. So give me Knicks minus 3.5. And then, maybe this is the game of the night. This is probably a game of the night. T-Wolves and the Nugs. Nugs minus 3.5. Give me the Nugs minus 3.5 here. Jokic is a game time decision. I think he plays. No Aaron Gordon on the T-Wolf side. I think we should just have their normal starting rotation. So I like the Nuggets minus 3.5 as long as Joker plays. Obviously, do not like it if he doesn't play. All right, let's get into some college. I'll talk you guys through, kind of what I'm looking at here. Richmond and Davidson. I want to take Davidson minus 6.5, but I think the better play is to take the over 130.5. It is an early game. Sometimes an early game scoring is not as it can be a little sporadic. But we saw in the UC game, we were on the over for team total for Oklahoma State, and that hit. I do like the over here to hit in this game. Virginia and Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech minus 1. That is one that is on the card. Cincinnati and Iowa State. Man, this is a tough one because I want to fade since, UC is my school. This is my hometown school. And I don't think they stand a fighting chance. So 8.5 is a little steep. I think this could get back up to 9.5. It was 9.5 at one point. So I do think it probably ticks back up to 9.5. Then maybe I'm looking at hitting UC, but right now it's just a bad line. Over under of 136. I would lean towards Iowa State team total over. Same thing we did against Oklahoma State or with Oklahoma State. Charlotte and Rice. Give me Rice minus 3.5 in this one, although it's just not one I want to touch. It's a 9 and an 8 playing each other. I don't really love this game, but I would lean Rice minus 3.5. South Carolina and Arkansas. I want to go Arkansas minus 4.5. They're just young, and I don't know if I necessarily trust them against South Carolina, but they should get the job done. I would just feel a lot better if it were 3.5. Wyoming and San Jose State should be an interesting game. I've got San Jose State winning this one. This is a coin flip game, so don't want to touch this game. Grambling and Southern, another coin flip in terms of that line. I would lean Southern in this one. Fordham and Rhode Island, one of my favorite plays today. Rhode Island minus 4.5. I love the spot for Rhode Island. They should be able to just cruise in this game, hopefully. But it is one of my favorite bets today. Next game, Notre Dame and North Carolina. This line was 8.5. It's jumped to 9.5. I would still lean North Carolina minus 9.5. This Notre Dame team, they got the win. They shouldn't have gotten the win. But I think we're going to see that fatigue kick in. I think North Carolina rolls them. Colorado and West Virginia. I would say the smart money's on West Virginia, but I like the way Colorado's playing right now. So I would lean Colorado plus 6.5 and the over 129.5. Texas and Vandy. It's a tricky one. Most likely Vandy, but man, this is one of those sneaky dog plays where I could see Texas winning this. So neither way is really what I'm leaning, but Texas is what my gut's saying. Northwestern and Minnesota. Give me Minnesota plus the 3. Butler and Providence. This is interesting because Butler opened as a 1.5 point favorite. Now Providence is a -1. That would tell you go Providence, but I like Butler. They're just dogs, man. They stay. I think actually their name is Bulldogs. They just hang around. So give me Butler plus 1 here. LaSalle and UMass. I don't love this game whatsoever. Give me UMass minus 2.5 though. Nevada and Fresno State. Nevada minus 13. Lamar and McNeese. Lamar, good win against Nichols State last night, but this is where it comes to an end. That said, 12.5 is a lot. This is exactly where I have it, is 12.5. So I guess lean Lamar plus 12.5 there, but not something I'd want to touch. Norfolk State and Maryland. I'd lean Norfolk State minus 16.5. Not playing a spread that high though for these teams. Iowa and Ohio State. I like Ohio State minus 5, but I like the under more. So the under is what's on the card. Under 155.5. Ryder and Quinnipiac. I don't trust Quinnipiac minus 8.5. So give me Ryder plus 8.5. UTEP and Liberty. This is a fairly simple one. This was one I thought about putting on the card, but I didn't. But I do like Liberty minus 7.5 here. DePaul and Georgetown, 4 points. I can see Georgetown winning by 4, so give me Georgetown minus 4. California and Stanford. I like California plus the 5.5. Kansas State and Baylor. Give me Baylor minus 6.5 in this one. Navy and American. This opened up at 2.5. It's up to 3. I still like American. Minus 3. LSU, Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State minus 8.5. Air Force, UNLV. I would lean UNLV minus 12.5. Air Force is really bad. Coppin State, South Carolina State, minus 14.5, but that doesn't feel like too bad of a line. Coppin State's real bad. So give me South Carolina State minus 14.5. Let's see. I would lean Rutgers plus 1, Merrimack minus 3. Let's see. Seton Hall, Villanova. I'm on Villanova minus 10.5. I like that spot. Cal State Bakersfield, UC Santa Barbara. I would lean Santa Barbara. Utah Tech, Utah Valley. I don't have a good feel for that one. I didn't do a lot of research on that game, I'll be honest. UCF and Kansas. Soft lean towards Kansas in this one, but I don't trust them. Oklahoma and Georgia should be a good game. I like Georgia in this spot. Definitely could see Oklahoma covering though. So I'm not touching that one. SMU and Syracuse, I would lean SMU minus 8.5. Syracuse could not make a free throw to save their life. I don't even know how they won that game yesterday. They should not have won that game. Give me Northern Colorado minus 2.5 over Montana. Grand Canyon minus 8.5. And then finally, wrapping it up, give me Cal Poly minus 3.5. All right, let's get into this betting card. Get you guys on your way. Before we do that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps me. All right, first play on the card in the NBA is going to be Kristaps Porzingis. Like I said, it's probably a good chance he doesn't play. So if you want to fade this, that's fine. But I'm putting it on there just because if he does play, great. If he doesn't, we just get refunded. So I like his over 5.5 rebounds. Trae Young under 27.5 points. It's a little scary to fade Charlotte in points when it comes to point guards because they are 24th over the last 15 games. I just think it's too much. The matchup just doesn't bode well for him. So I like him to, dish the ball. Don't like him to score today. Next play is going to be Scotty Barnes over 34.5 PRA. Like we said earlier, everyone's out. No Barrett, no Quickly, no Grady Dick. Someone's got to score points. Jakob Poeltl's only going to play like 22 minutes. So it's got to be him. So he's either going to be scoring, dishing, or rebounding. So I think he's got to do it all if they want to win. Kevin Durant over 5.5 rebounds. Last play, minus 114 on Pinnacle. Last 9 of 15 forwards are over their line. So I do like this spot for him. If we look at KD, 4 for 4 versus Houston last year to this line. He had 5 last game against them, the only game they've played this season, but I do like him to get some boards. What kills me about this team is you got Bol, who's got like a 27-foot wingspan, and he can't get like 4 rebounds. Wild. Absolutely wild. Anyway, moving on to college. So 4 college plays that I like today is going to be Rhode Island minus 4.5. I already talked about that. I like them to just absolutely trounce Fordham. Villanova minus 10.5 versus Seton Hall. Seton Hall's trash. I know Villanova sometimes can come out flat, but this is important to them. I think we're going to see them fired up and going on full cylinders here. Next play is going to be Iowa, Ohio State under 155.5. I think this line's a little too high. I think it should be like 152. I think we'll probably see it drop to 153.5 before tip off. And then last play, Georgia Tech -1 versus Virginia. I like the matchup here for Georgia Tech. So I do think it will be a tight game. Not expecting a blowout here. So this is one, it's going to be a sweat the whole way. But I do think Georgia Tech comes out on top. So those are my 8 favorite plays. Like I said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord. It's absolutely free. Link is down below. We've got a lot of plays being posted in there. So we've got guys posting props, some lotteries. These guys hit lotteries like crazy. It's awesome. They hit a lot of lotteries. So those are in there. Like I said, completely free to join. And I will catch you guys in the next video.